The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
I did hear that they were coming through necessary media.
Because it's necessary. Necessary media. Media, because it's necessary.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am back again, your host and friend, Michael DeOliveira, ushering in the necessary era every Wednesday here live on Comcast Channel 95. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Probably, right there, I'll put it right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is show number 2. Successful enough with show number 1 that we've decided to move on with this project, and we're going to see where it goes from here. Now, again, the point to this show is to bring you some information local to national. But today, I think there's going to be a lot more local stuff going on. There's not a lot on the national spectrum that I want to talk about today. So what I do want to get into, and I want to introduce my guest on today's show, is Fall River City Councilor Richard Cabeceiras. So we can do that right now so we don't waste time here. Rich, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I appreciate you being able to come on. It was short notice, ladies and gentlemen. He's taken up the opportunity to be here, and I appreciate that. Now, one of the big issues going on, and not even an issue, we're going to get into some issues though, but this isn't really an issue, but it is a hot topic. What I reached out to you to see if you could come on to explain is, or give your view on, is we've seen this release of this new, the Fall River promotional video, and I noticed you were in the background there. You were one of the figureheads standing there. So I want to get your opinion on the video. I also do want to find out actually, because I heard your name was mentioned as being part of the people who were trying to promote the city in such a way, I believe. So I would like to know, what was it, why were you there? And what do you know about this video?
So first, you said one of the figureheads standing in the back. I'm not a figurehead, I'm just trying to do my job. Second, why was I there? For years we've
Who are you and why were you there?
Well, you actually said who I was. So
it's true.
I was there because I believe that we need to promote the city in a more positive light. This is a video that was created in order to be able to help promote business and or help promote to businesses the things that are going good in Fall River. Granted,
Yes.
Everything isn't going great in Fall River, but if we focus on the positives, then people and businesses that haven't been here before can take a look at those positives, and they can really figure out at least take a look at Fall River.
Yes.
Then they can go take a look at the statistics and make of them what they will. They can call somebody from City Hall and figure out what they want to do working with the city. But it's important to at least spread the word about us.
So again, though, now I agree with the general principle of all that, but what I want to know again is, what was it that brought you to actually be involved in that demonstration? Was it just from reaching out? Was it, because I know your name was mentioned in it, so I didn't know if what was behind the scenes maybe?
So I had seen that video a couple of times prior to actually being there, and Jazel was kind enough to let me stand behind him, and he recognized the fact that I had been campaigning on how we need to market the city in a better light.
That's what I believe I heard, right?
And marketing is so important when you're trying to bring jobs into the city. And businesses look at stuff like that, especially if we're sending videos like that to businesses who are interested in coming here. That might be the thing that sets us apart from everybody else.
Now, did you see the video before it was released?
Yes,
So
twice.
there was what do you call it, like a pre-opening?
I didn't have the opportunity to make any edits or suggestions to it. The video was pretty much done at that point in time. But I saw it once the Thursday before, and then I saw it once again that morning.
Okay, So what would be your interpretation of this video as a whole? I'll tell you right now, I'd call it lukewarm. I don't think I'm negative on it, but I'm not really excited about it. But I also admit I'm not someone who's maybe in another state who's looking to branch out business-wise and look for a facility to build my newest location at. So I might not be looking for the same things in this video. I'm willing to admit that. But what's your perspective on this thing?
I think we're promoting the city in a positive light. I think we need to continue doing that. For years, we've constantly tried focusing on just how to fix the problems. If we start talking about how are we going to promote the city in a positive light, we could potentially have businesses come into the region and help us generate more revenue so we can spend more money on things like public safety, spend more money on road improvement and things like that, the things that people actually need. Unfortunately, if we just continue doing what we've always done, I don't see how we're going to ever be able to get ourselves into a place where we can truly reach our potential.
All right, well, what do you know? I'm a little confused on one part of the video. I think I had heard some information, but I don't know if you could clarify. Was it that the Fall River government TV had done this pro bono, or was there a cost associated with this?
So,
because I think I heard something about $50,000, but I don't know. Total could be rumor mill.
I don't know if, I don't think they spent any money out of their budget in order to be able to do that. However, I'm pretty sure they were probably being paid as they normally would be paid in order to be able to do the job.
Well, why I asked that specifically is for everybody who's like a diehard Necessary Media fan. If you remember back from Necessary Radio, I had then City Councilor Dan Rigo on, and we talked about this. We talked about bringing almost like a contest way to look at it. And he mentioned about reaching out to the students at Durfee High School, and then I remember clearly bringing out in this interview to are we going to reach out to people here at BCC, because obviously you're going to have people who at Durfee through their program might want to put some things on their resume by developing something, but maybe there'd be people at the actual the community college that already have more experience or just more creative outlooks on what they could do and what they could pull together with this. Because again, like I said, my interpretation of this video is a little bit lukewarm, but I don't have experience in just going shopping around these videos. So my point in mentioning that is, if my assumption previously was this thing was brought forth as a contest for like I said, like students and whatnot. So why I ask about the cost is I was, again, it could be just total rumor, but I don't understand how a cost would be associated at all if this was put together through random initiatives,
I think if people are talking about cost, it's probably the salary for the people who actually made the video.
That's what I'm asking about, though. That's specifically what I mean.
But they're already,
if it was done as a contest, I don't understand that. That's the part that confused me on, that's why I wanted clarification if you had any.
They're already employees, though. So are we going to...
you're just tying it together.
So ultimately, you're just asking them to do additional work than what they would normally do.
I get what you're doing with that.
So if there is a cost, and I don't know that there is,
Right.
but I'm saying if there is, then it's the type of thing where we're expanding their ability to be able to do something, and something positive came out of it. And again, this is the first step.
Right.
So eventually, I'd like to see a 30-second commercial go out, so that way we can start marketing to places in other communities on open air.
Have you any experience with these videos? Since I already clarified, I have none. I don't watch these trailers. These are not my big to-do things. I don't, Netflix and chill. I don't go, I don't sit back and watch these promotional videos for how to sell a city to another city or another business. But are you familiar with these at all?
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen state videos. Yeah. I've seen city videos.
I've seen of them. I've
seen region videos.
Yeah.
You see them a lot on business channels, and there's a reason for that. Because these communities are trying to promote their city. I can remember one of the first ones I saw was Tax-Free New York. And they were promoting how anywhere outside of the city you could locate a business and they'd help you out with tax incentives.
Right.
And it was successful for them. And I think that we have the potential to be able to promote our city in a positive light and potentially get people looking at our city that normally wouldn't be looking at our city.
Well, I can understand the push. So I'm, like I said, totally for doing it. I'm just a little confused on like I said, me personally, Michael DeOliveira, I'm lukewarm on it. I'm not going negative on it, but I just don't see, what I've seen, my experience with these videos, I've only gotten I would say through parody on shows or movies when they make fun of these business videos, and it just fit that niche so perfectly that I just don't know how to see this video. That's why my criticism is just lukewarm. So I don't cross over into the negative side. I look at it like, really? Is that why these parodies exist? Because they just all follow this format? Like, I think it would have been great. Obviously, we're not going to highlight the negatives. You've got to highlight the positives. I'm not one of these people who are trying to be like, oh, but this is a load of BS because we got these negatives. Duh. You don't shop around the negatives, though. But I would have thought, maybe it's just me and the way my head works. I would have tried to do, as you can see, the way I do things here, you try to do something to pop out at the audience a little bit. I didn't see no pop. I seen a lot of, that's where I say lukewarm. I feel like the video was lukewarm.
So you have to remember who this
Lukewarm.
video was catered to. And it's catered to businesses. And businesses...
But isn't one of the things we're trying to get is the young entrepreneurs or whatever?
Again, this is a 6-minute video for people who are interested in locating their business somewhere. If we're looking at pop, that's the 30-second, 1-minute video or commercial that's going to be on a radio station, that's going to be on TV. That's where we get our pop. This is an informational video, all the or majority of the positives that we have going on in the city in order to be able to get these people more interested if they inquire.
All right, well, like I said, I've already fully admitted, and I will admit one more time, I am not an expert on this subject. This is not my thing. It's not my forte. So I will concede that and just hope that this does work, because I am somebody who's, has high hopes in the development of what's going on in Fall River and what could be around the corner. So,
and to be fair, I'm not an expert either, but it's a step.
I thought that's why I had you here. You were the business video expert. It says it right here on your resume.
Yeah, well, actually, it doesn't say that on my resume, unless you wrote that in.
No, this one it does.
Okay, there you go. Let's see. That's my resume.
Expert.
Hold on, I'll hold it
That's
up
why
for
you're
you.
here. So, all right. I mean, like I said, I don't want to really beat a dead horse on that. I just figured I wanted to know what your insights might be on it, because I really, like I said over and over again now, I've had none. I thought the video was okay. It could have been all right for pop, but I do get the point. You're kind of selling it at a stale level almost. Business-wise, you want to give these other businesses the opportunity to see what we have to offer for business. I get it. So I think, though, why I'm saying it like this, because I feel like I'm trying to speak to the average person out there in the city who might either be catching some things through the paper or through what they hear on radio, which is another subject this week, or TV, whatever, that they catch a little bit here and there. They're not in that community. So they're watching this video, they're seeing it being promoted, they're seeing it being pushed as like, look, Fall River's getting better. And again, if you look at it at its best as like, then it kind of dulls it a little bit. So maybe if we carry this contest thing forward, then maybe we can push one of these other things that we were just kind of discussing, like these 1 minute and a half pop whatever things, and throw that out to the public so that the public can have an idea of what's going on. Because actually, before I forget, and I have a couple minutes to spare on this, I do think you are not an expert, but I would have wrote novice. I think you're a novice on this. Aren't you somebody who's been pushing to get like a lot more of the live bands and whatnot here? I think I remembered that.
Yes, I've been talking a lot about trying to bring more local music and bring the local music scene back.
Yes.
When I was a kid growing up, I can remember going to PAL, going to VFW, watching live shows where people actually created their own music. There was a time when artists would do graffiti art on graffiti art. They would create art, and they were more accepted. And we need to create that community again. We need to allow them to be able to express themselves out in public. And I think that as we can build an art community in this region, it would help us grow.
I know you're very familiar with some of the same people I am as far as in the art community that is in the city, and I support that 100%. I was one of those people who probably a lot of you out there might not have appreciated. I was one of the people who appreciated that whole trying to put art in the landscape of Fall River.
I agree.
I supported that. But then again, I grew up with some of these people, or I know some of these people, and I was one of these people who were very much into trying to push an artistic, again, creative view out there. So I supported that 100%. And we always talk about our sister city, New Bedford. I mean, I mentioned to people how if you drive into certain parts in the city, especially coming off of the highways and whatnot, it's like right over, when you go under the overpass, I mean, you see these murals. That I don't know how the logistics on that and how the government handles it. It's not gang related. Some of them are like a whole aquarium on the side of an overpass. So things like that I'd support. I just know there's not a ton of people out there because, I mean, we deal with a mixed group of people out there, so we have to see how all that goes.
In order to be able to grow our city, we need to do bold things. We need to do innovative things. And the arts community is one of the ways that we can actually do that.
Agreed.
And if we start promoting live local art, if we start having live local shows, if every single week you know that there's something going on in Fall River, and you say not, hey, is something happening in Fall River, but what is happening this week, then we're going to see more people spending time in Fall River, more people frequenting businesses, and you're going to see more commerce.
I agree. I support that. Now, again, transitioning, because ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're very familiar with Necessary Media and what we've done before, I came from a 2-hour show and I'm cramming this down now into a half hour. So I go from this to this. So I'm doing what I can. So I got to kind of move this along. And the other subject I wanted to get into with you is I heard you were one of the people who were going around immediately when this was mentioned. And I want to play something real quick just as a tie into this. But the situation with the city councilor out in what was it, toward, I know you know.
Barnstable.
Barnstable, I was gonna
Yes.
say Bourne, I know it wasn't Bourne. Barnstable, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about this, because again, I don't know which part of my audience is gonna catch this. If you're watching this live on Channel 95, you're probably aware of this, but if you're catching the YouTube upload later, I don't know how many of you might be in tune with this. So Rich, I know you were, again, one of these people who are going around immediately on this. Could you give a brief explanation of what you know to be the case with this?
So I had read in the paper that there was this counselor in Barnstable who was saying that they don't have the ability to deal with their homeless population. Therefore, they wanted help from other communities in order to be able to help them. I don't think that's appropriate.
Well, was it even really that they didn't want help? They wanted to kick out their
Yes.
population and ship them off.
That's basically that's the way I took
Get
it.
on the train,
In-
get in line, and figure out where you're going later. And then little do these people know they're on a train to Fall River.
And the way that it came across to me was everybody's going to get on a bus. They're going to go down 195. They're going to drop them off underneath the overpass on Plymouth Avenue. They're going to take a left, and the bus isn't even going to stay in Fall River long enough in order to be able to deal with the issue.
No.
And that's a problem.
Yes.
We need to take accountability for our own actions. And every community does that. Right now, in our community, I think that we're doing exactly that. I think we're talking about the opioid epidemic. I think we're talking about our homeless issue. I think we're doing bold things.
On that note, I believe everybody out there, I don't know, again, I didn't want to get into the national stuff, but I believe even Donald Trump was talking about Fall River in this respect. I don't know if you caught this.
No.
Yeah, watch this. Look, I believe Donald, I'm going to play a clip real quick for everybody out there. Donald Trump, this is what he had to say about Fall River. Fall River
has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems.
I don't think many people caught that again. Let me play this again. I was watching, I don't know if you caught the debates, Rich. Do you follow this national
Yes.
stuff? Okay, we can get into that another time. Again, this is only a half-hour show, folks, so we're gonna get into this another time. But I didn't think I was gonna get into some national stuff. But if you didn't catch this, I don't know how many people watched the debate. Did you catch this at the
So
debate
are
last
you
night?
inserting the word Fall
I don't,
River?
listen, I'm just telling you what I heard Donald Trump say. Donald Trump said Fall River
Has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems.
He did not say Fall River first.
Listen, this is where I admit, this is a soundbite. I admit this is a soundbite, but this soundbite was only edited a space where he took a long breath. I don't know if he's out of shape. There was a long breath in between. That's the only part I edited. So this is the soundbite I have. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump, Fall River
Has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems.
So it's funny because I notice how Donald Trump's
What?
pitch changes after he says Fall River. So,
Well, again, I don't have the original clip. If anybody out there has the original clip you want to send to Necessary Media, make sure to reach out to the Facebook page,
And you could-
www.facebook.com/thenecessarymedia. Or, again, everybody make sure to subscribe to the, Rich, I hope you've subscribed already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/thenecessarymedia. And yeah, if you got that clip, the original clip, send it to me, because apparently Rich doesn't believe that was the whole clip. Now, I admit, I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest that the only part of the clip I have is that where Donald Trump just says that. So, I mean, I can't do anything else, but that, I believe it to be true.
You're a liar.
No, I believe it to be true.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not.
You're a liar.
All right, listen, I'm not going to argue with you. Anyway,
your soundboard doesn't like you today, huh?
no, but this is the other thing. Everybody else asked about my interns already. I still got 2 interns here, but they've been busy. But I'm going to tell you right now, they did a lot this week. Technically wise, they did a lot. We got a lot of things coming in the next couple weeks. Rich was already looking at the extension of my studio. Wait till you guys see the extension of my studio. This thing's about to get epic. But I need a lot of your support. So again, keep on watching. Tell your family, tell your kids, tell your aunts, your uncles, everybody. Your neighbors. Knock on your neighbor's door. Tell them I'm on right now. Go.
Actually, that's a good idea.
What,
Go
go
knock
with
on
the
your
neighbor?
neighbor's door, depending on your neighborhood. Go knock on your neighbor's door.
Every neighborhood in Fall River, you can go knock at your neighbor's door, all right? We're making a promotional video as we speak here, Rich. Can I call you Richard?
You can.
I'll call you Richard for now, and then we'll probably switch back.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I thought that was outrageous. So yeah, let's get those facts out there. So basically, again, if everybody out there was just catching this, Barnstable, which coincidentally, and I won't drag you into this conversation, but unless you feel comfortable doing it, coincidentally, that's where our current but soon to be former superintendent, Meg Mayo Brown, is going to be moving to.
I don't think that they're related.
I'm not
Just-
saying
just
they're
to say
related, but
that.
it's just one of those things in life where, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
What I can tell you is this. I can tell you that.
Do they slip in
when-
notes
when-
like in high school or middle school?
I doubt that was the case.
Circle yes or no.
Meg
Will you
is,
take our homeless?
to my knowledge, she's planning on still living in the city even though she takes the job.
I did not know that.
So she lives in the city currently.
Isn't that a decent trip?
Yeah, it's a decent trip, but our city's great.
Gas prices are going back up.
So
Well, our city is great.
there you go, Fall River.
Fall River.
So when I heard that, it was so offensive to me that.
I agree 100%.
So, and
That's insane.
I think I took
They
out a lot
said
of my
take our
frustration out on the
homeless.
radio.
I heard it.
So
I
I
heard
said,
it.
if that's the case, let's have him come down here. We'll have a meal at the Cove, and then we can ship him back in a bus so he knows what it feels like.
I caught that. That
And
was,
you,
it was
and
good, decent
you
line.
can take you got to take responsibility for your own actions as an elected official. You got to take responsibility for the people that you're supposed to represent, regardless of who they are.
Doesn't it just fit the narrative, though, that I know it aggravates the heck out of me, and everybody out there should aggravate you too, or you too should aggravate the heck out of you, that this is the attitude they have in the state level and the federal level, is that this is literally the cesspool of what they want to do with the state. So they give the problems, and this this city just straight up said, this is what we're gonna do.
And part of it is perception, and part of
It's not right.
Part of it is the perception that we send out to the public.
You think it's perception, or are they pushing that perception on us as well? It's one of those dichotomies.
So I
So
think
many big words in
with
today's
things
show,
like
folks.
this video,
Yes.
we are promoting a positive Fall River, and we can start changing the attitude about our city. Now we're saying, hey, people feel positive about our own city. You should feel positive about it too.
I am with you. Like I said, I think these people need to be called out on that because that's absolutely insane. Now, in about 2 minutes or so, we're going to get into the fan favorite no flex zone. But before I do
like
that,
the no flex zone.
Last
Last week
fan
was good.
favorite, you caught that, the Cat Williams spot. Now,
Yes.
I should probably amend this a little bit. From what I understand, there was a follow-up to this. Cat Williams actually had to go, he violated his probation off that. But the kid was that, did you ever see the follow-up video to this?
No.
You saw the original?
No, I don't think anybody watches follow-up videos.
No, that's the problem with that is you just nailed that one right on the head. Usually it's like whatever information you get first, hey, that's all you need, folks. But no, there is a follow-up video, and I guess if I want to be responsible, but that would kill last week's no flex zone. He won it last week. This week he didn't get it. Don't worry about that. But there's a follow-up where I guess the kid was starting with him. He was trying to avoid it. So I just want to put that out there for everybody who caught last week's no flex zone. Cat Williams, I guess, was trying to avoid it. But I just wanted to get something else before I get into that this week. Now, I already said I was hoping, as everybody can see when the camera goes wide, I have my buddy over here, my laptop. I was hoping that you were going to have your laptop here because I wanted them to be able to have like a play date.
Did Ollie Pumpkinhead win no flex zone?
No, and wait,
Oh,
that's the name of
man.
it? You've named it, other people did.
The radio station named
I didn't
it.
catch it.
Yeah,
I didn't catch
we were
that.
talking about basically famous, right? So
It is.
I'm
It's
sitting
becoming
there
famous.
just kind of sitting around, and the computer's taking all the credit for it.
If you weren't on like public time, that's like prime advertisement real estate on the back of that thing, which,
You know what?
ladies and gentlemen,
I'll start selling advertising space. Why not?
Monster want to give me a shout out. I'll leave this so quick. You give me a sponsorship, I will leave this so quick. But
You know, maybe we can make some additional municipal money by having sponsorship on the back.
Hey, Monster, I got a promotional video for you from Fall River. If you want to come down here, we'll see what we can do. Totally lost myself on that.
You're talking about my laptop.
Yeah, no, the laptop thing. So yeah, I thought for everybody out there who's a fan of the laptop, I am a fan of the laptop. I thought we were going to be able to get that thing in here, and like I said, have a play date with the two, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, next time, maybe we can do exactly that.
How's that for you? How's that working
I
in real
love it,
time?
because-
I know you get cracked on a little bit from maybe half the people out there, but how is it real time? I would think it probably serves better
Well,
than notes. And
It allows me to fact check on the spot. And when I watched meetings when I was a city councilor. I said, why do people not bring their laptops? Because if somebody's giving you a piece of information.
Well, before you got there and some other people got there, how many of them had laptops?
I don't know.
Okay, some people were still getting letters shipped to their house via taxi. Let's be real.
What I can tell you is
Let's be
now
real.
when somebody gives me a piece of information, I have the ability to look it up. I have the ability to fact check. Furthermore,
is true.
I have the ability on the spot to be able to come up with notes that I might not have present. I have the ability to get emails while I'm there. If there's something that wasn't sent to me, I can get an email to get additional information that wasn't given to me previously.
You just made me think of another thing, and I don't know if you're gonna like me for this, but you just popped into my head, so feel free to answer as you please.
It's okay.
You just said in your wording present, which reminded me of this last council meeting, how you had the situation of having to abstain because of your residents being
That's right.
nearby. Now, I'm gonna tell you, full disclosure, I've already talked about this. Again, there's wavering opinions on this. I gotta keep track of time, folks, so that's why I keep looking.
It's okay.
There's wavering opinions on this. I've actually said, my interns are waving me down. I got it. I'm keeping track of the time as best I can. But thank you, interns. Thanks,
Team
Jake.
JK.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Kelly's out back having a cigarette right now, which I don't promote, ladies and gentlemen. Don't, but that's what she does.
Don't do drugs, kids.
No, drugs are bad. So anyway, as I was saying, the you did have an issue where you abstained due to your residents being in the vicinity of what farmland that they were trying to do.
Yes. So where it's located is they're talking about building right on top of Steep Brook, basically.
I'm gonna have to do this to you at the same time.
Yeah. My house directly abuts Steep Brook. So if the water rises, it could potentially erode my own land and reduce my own property value. Therefore, if I'm going to have a material gain or material loss, it's up to me to be able to abstain.
Yes, but now, so here's where I was trying to say, and I don't think I finished it. I actually understand where you were going with that, and I credited bringing up the question, and we could have got into this, but again, we got into it last week. I had Mike Mioz on. If you guys didn't catch that episode, at the end of this episode, if you're watching this live on Channel 95, make sure to, again, check out the YouTube page. I'll make sure to link it somewhere over here at the end of the show where you can click on and watch the previous show with Mike Mioz talking about Windowgate, talking about that window that fell at City Hall, and talking about what I was going to say is you guys had a back and forth going on. And but this is what I was getting at that I thought was kind of funny to me, and I want to see where you go with this. There's been numerous situations, it feels like, where now that Councilor Joe Camara isn't the council president, he feels it upon himself in a very humorous way to me, I'll admit, to just interject what seems to just be comedy during the thing. So what is that like? You're right there near him. This almost fits like before when there was other people that were right near each other that people thought there was a conflict. Is it a fun time now at every meeting?
Fun time?
Yeah, happy, super happy fun time, kids.
Well,
super happy
I can
fun
tell
time.
you when it stifles conversation, when it turns into argument as opposed to turning in actually getting business done, that's when it becomes a problem. And I can understand that maybe for the TV it plays up nice, but
Right.
I don't think that that's appropriate.
You know what? With that, I wanted to get into some. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the fan favorite No Flex Zone Award of the Week.
Well, I gotta see this. Do we have the TV on the TV here? Perfect.
No flex zone. They know better. They know better.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are in the No Flex Zone. That's the No Flex Zone is a zone where you do not belong flexing. And by flex, I mean doing anything you are not supposed to be doing in a place you're not supposed to be doing it. And this week's, ladies and gentlemen, the No Flex Zone is a local one. If you haven't caught this yet, just be grateful you don't have to deal with it because it's been on a lot of things. This week's No Flex Zone Award winner is the blockade they put on Rock Street. Follow me here? That's appropriate. I live right on this street, and this is what I'm going to tell you right now. That blockade was put there, and it attempted to flex in a no-flex zone. If you know that region, you know how much traffic it gets. You know the type of people in that area, and you have business people just driving down, but then you have the local constituents who are just not happy with having a blockade there. I being one of them. So I want to show a brief demonstration while I have a minute, not even 30 seconds. This is High Street. High Street. Then you take Pine. Then here's Rock. Here's the danger. Here's a intersection. Here's this. The blockade's right there. Blockade. No reason. No Flex Zone Award winner of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Goodbye. Do what I can. I do what I can, ladies and gentlemen. Hot mic. hot mic.